The math skill that we are going to be working on today and tomorrow is adding with decimals. Now, when we're adding with decimals, we can't just line everything up on the right side on the end and hope that it's in the right place. We have to pay attention to where is the decimal and what place values do we actually have. So if I'm thinking about this as money, if I look here, this says I have $35.89, $35.89. And then I also have $173.50. So I have this, I'm putting them together. When I'm done, I should have more than 173. I should have 35 more than that. I'm thinking I should have close to $200 because I know 70 plus 30 is going to give me 200, 170 plus another 30. So I should have more than 200 when I'm done. So if my answer is not close to 200 when I'm done, I've done something wrong here. So we have to pay attention to these place values. So you have 5 ones on this one and you have 3 ones on this one. We need to make sure that when we write the problem that those are lined up. It doesn't matter which one we put on top or the bottom. You have to make sure that they are lined up and down though. So I'm just going to start with this first one here. And that fly is back, you guys. It's going to make me lose my mind. So $35.89. Here's my ones place. Here's my decimals. I just always make sure that my decimals are lined up. And I also make sure I'm writing big enough and neat enough that I can read it and have room to line everything up. So this 3 should be under this 5 because those are both in the ones place. That 3 should be here. And then my decimal, and then I have 50 cents. I have 173 here. So here's the tens place, here's the tens place. Those should be lined up. And I have 100 here, and I have no hundreds here. Over here at the end, we can see we have 9 hundredths. We don't have any hundredths on this one, so I can just put a 0 as a placeholder. So as I'm finishing writing out the problem, I can see these decimals are lined up and it's going to come straight down. So I should have 2 numbers behind the decimal place and then 3 numbers in front of the decimal place. You have to line your decimals up. That's the biggest mistake we see is we see students, they start writing it like this. So they take their first one and then they just line up at the front. And they're like, okay, we'll just go from here. And now I can see these decimals are not in the same place. You're adding 100 and 30, and those are not the same. You have 3 tens and 100. They're not the same. You're ending up with 40 some, I don't know, unless you call that hundreds or tens. How do you know what place that is when they're not lined up? So we don't want to just go from the back there or make sure that they're lined up one way or the other. We want to make sure our decimals are lined up and then you fill in any extra places with those placeholders. So now we're going to go ahead and do our adding just like our traditional way that we do it. We're going to start at the last place, the smallest place, in this case is the hundredths. So we have 9 plus 0 is 9. There's nothing to regroup. Now we have 8 and 5 is 13. So that 1 is going to go up, that 10, and our 3 goes down. So we're left with 39 hundredths. We've already brought down our decimal. It just comes straight down because we lined everything up. So now I have, don't forget this 1 that we moved over here. So I have 6, 7, 8, 9. 7 plus 3 is 10. So regrouping, giving that 1 up here. 1 plus 1 is 2. So we're checking. We said our answer should be a little bit bigger than 200. Here we have a little bit bigger than 200. 209 and 39 hundredths. If you would have done this one over here, right, there's a 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, 13. And then like where does your decimal go? Oh, that fly. So we don't know where this decimal is going to go because it's not lined up and we're not moving it over like multiplying. Okay. Addition, we line them up, we match up the places, drop the decimal down. Going to do a few problems together, and we're going to take a look at what that person maybe did wrong. So there are going to be some mistakes in these problems, and you guys have to find where did they go wrong in their addition. So the biggest thing we've got to remember is line those decimals up. When you've got it lined up, it makes it much easier and your decimal just comes straight down.